Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. My name is Mike John Skitchol, and this is my recorded presentation on a scenario that exhibits land use and climate change interaction. So let's start first on the abstract title, Risk of Flooding from an Iponan Cagayan de Oro River During Typhoons. I actually made this idea since recently Cagayan de Oro City, and especially in Iponan Cagayan de Oro, where I reside, was always a flood-prone area when it comes to heavy rainfall. I will read first my abstract so that we can have a summary on what kind of issue or scenario I am talking about. Localized thunderstorm hit Cagayan de Oro and northern Mindanao according to Pag-asa. Misamis Oriental, Bukidnon, Lana del Norte, Misamis Occidental, and Camiguin were all hit by Wednesday, October 19, 2022 storms. Hundreds of motorists and commuters were delayed for hours due to flooded roads and highway sections leading to Misamis Oriental. In the west of the city, the Iponan River rose about 3 meters in 12 minutes, as shown in the data of DOST. When the rain stopped and the river dried up, local government personnel shoveled mud, sand, gravel from the building sites and hauled out debris and traffic impediments. Externally, heavy rainfall at the watershed areas will result in runoff that drains into the Cagayan de Oro and Iponan rivers. Typically, flooding is caused by insufficient absorption of rainwater in the soil as a result of increased deforestation, conversion of land to agricultural use, and other effects of urban expansion. The Iponan River poses the greatest threat during periods of heavy rainfall. Excessive runoff will adversely affect flood-prone and low-lying barangays located along Cagayan de Oro River, Iponan River, and the coast. 74,399 people are currently exposed to 1.5-meter flood depth, with 59 out of 80 barangays at high risk. Cagayan de Oro's municipal development has been developed or challenged for years by the problem of flooding. To, re- to reduce water runoff in the Iponan River, a river bank should be constructed to prevent water from flowing to low-lying residents along the Iponan River, thus minimizing the risk of flooding in the area. So if we take a look on the flood hazard map, Barangay Punan is in the number one spot as a barangay at risk of flood. This is because Barangay Ipunan has its own river and is the main reason for flooding. The implication from this topic to land use and climate change is the connection between the Ipunan River, Cagayan River, or the watersheds of Cagayan de Oro City that causes flooding in many barangays, especially in my locality here in Barangay Ipunan. The main reason for this is the increased deforestation by logging of trees and changing the forest land into agriculture, thus less trees, less absorption of water during heavy rainfall, and resulting to increased water runoff in the Cagayan de Oro River, especially in the nearest river where I reside, the Ipunan River. The Ipunan River watershed is surrounded by forestry areas in high-lying parts of Mindanao. If we mean forest, it will be composed of green plants, small and big trees, or vast number of trees that will incorporate itself as a forest. Forest is very important natural resources. Forest purifies the air we breathe, filter the water we drink, prevent erosion, and act as an important buffer against climate change. Basically, if we are talking about lowering carbon emissions, forest is the answer. As a human being, we cannot create forests dramatically or instantly. It takes a lot of time, years, just to grow one single tree. What I'm pretty sure of is we use trees instantaneously in our lives. If we put simply, our population as a human being is inversely proportional to the population of forests or trees to be exact. What I mean is the number of people is increasing while the number of trees in our lands is decreasing. The truth is we cut trees faster than planting a tree, and that's it. In case of urban development, we cut trees, we get wood, and wood, we use them as a material for construction of infrastructures, building houses, and other related construction stuff. Let's go back to the Iponan River Basin. Since it is covered or surrounded by forests or trees, we know that this is susceptible for logging, causing deforestation. I'm not sure how much percentage or rate or the number of deforestation it is, but what I'm sure of is there is a possibility. Another notion that comes in my mind is that agricultural land or farming in a deforested area will likely does not have the same water capacity and has a limit on how much water it can absorb as before it was a forest. Agricultural crops have a small capacity and cannot absorb much water compared to a tree. Even agricultural farming is also susceptible to flooding. To mitigate flood during heavy rain or typhoon, proper urban planning in the river basin should be developed. One strategy from the government, referring to the DPWH, is to construct a river bank in the Iponan River to protect the bridge and residents from flood. But the project was started last 2017, but as of today is still far from completion. This project is worth 10 million pesos and there's only a little progress on its construction as of now. Another strategy that comes in my mind is to conceptualize using four segments to mitigate the adverse risk of flooding in which residents reside along the Iponan River. These strategies incorporate resist, delay, store, and discharge. Resist applies to the defense of the river lines through a combination of a hard and soft, nature-based infrastructure solutions. I mentioned earlier the construction of a riverbank in Iponan. This is actually an example to resist the water runoff in the river during heavy rain. Second is delay. Delay refers to the action to slow down the runoff from accumulating in one area, and store is the innovation in infrastructure that will directly the flow of water to a storage area. So if we take a look on the resist segment, if the water from the river runs off on the community, the delay and store segment will accommodate first the flood. So the flood will go through the delay segments, the yellow portion of the figure, and after that, it will store at the same time in the pink segment. So The direct to direct the flow of water to a storage area, allowing the recycling or reusing the stored water. Lastly, discharge denotes the construction of drainage system that will enable the flow of water away from the areas prone to susceptible flooding. So after if the rain or the heavy rain already stopped or the river is already in a normal condition, the discharge system or the drainage system will be available, and the water that is stored on the delay part of the figure, it will discharge the water or the flood back to the river, and that's it. So that will be the end of my presentation. Thank you.